We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Let the weekend fun between two bordering states begin. The first of a three-game set between the Twins and the Brewers as interleague play continues from Miller Park in Milwaukee. And it's a fantastic Friday night for baseball. Scott Baker on the hill for Minnesota, and he tries to keep the Twins red hot as they continue their rise in the American League Central Division, only 8 games out. Meanwhile, Randy Wolf, Mr. Consistent, is the crew still in first place and a tight battle in the National League Central. He has been the unsung hero of this pitching staff. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Craig Kashan here on Fox Sports Wisconsin, and couple of streaks are on the line from the plate tonight we want to tell you about as the Twins are set to battle the Brewers. Ryan Braun, first of all, a 14-game hitting streak, and the only player to have 3 separate 10-game hitting streaks in the majors this season. That 14-gamer a career high. The Brewers, the only team not to lose consecutive home games this year, 37 and counting. Every other team had lost theirs by the 13th. That's very impressive. Meanwhile, on the Twins side, Michael Kadire has a 12-game hitting streak going. One of the main reasons this club is still competing without their star first baseman in Justin Morneau. Beware of Randy Wolf. His last start was also an interleague play, and he stopped the red-hot Bo Sox. Can he cool off the Twins? BA and Rock, let us know.
Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Coming from near and far, the parking lot's loaded up today. A lot of tailgating as we get set for the Brewers and the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. Expecting a sellout crowd here at Miller Park. The roof is open, and we're looking forward to this matchup, Rock. Let's get into the Minnesota Twins a little bit. Here's a ball club that has struggled through injuries. They dug themselves a giant hole. On June 1st, they were 20 games under and 16 and a half back in the American League Central, but in their last 19, they have turned it around. 15 wins in the last 19 games, and primarily it has come down to their starting pitching.
Yeah, they have 16 quality starts in that stretch of 19 games. April and May, the starters 13 and 23. The walks are down, the strikeouts are up. They're keeping the baseball in the ballpark and allowing the Twins offense to get going, and that's the big key. You're only going to be as good as your starting pitching. And speaking of starting pitching, the Brewers have had very good starters. Perhaps the most consistent so far this year has been Randy Wolf. His last 7 starts, terrific. Only a 2-run record. I mean, Randy should have 4 wins in that stretch. A .218 earned run average. He's been very aggressive using his fastball. Early in the count, he has been terrific as of late.
Well, the Brew Crew opens in a tie for first in the National League Central, and states collide on the diamond beginning tonight. Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's the Brewers and the Twins, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Two states divided by a river, each with a group of fans fiercely loyal to teams of their own. Though the Minnesota-Wisconsin border battle is less intense on the baseball field, when the Twins meet the Brewers, memories are made.
Fly ball left field. Alex Cole coming in. Meters going out. Cole has it. Erickson has his no-hitter. The Molitor is just hit for the cycle. Just the 4th Brewer in history to hit for the cycle. Fielder hits one a mile high to center field. Moves forward with a shot. The ball drops. Fielder never stopped running. And he is going to try to score. The throw to the plate. And how do you like that? Prince Fielder with an inside the park home run. Driven to right field. This one's back. Oh, and the Twins win it 10-9. Well hit. Way back. Oh, touch them all. Kirby Puckett. Oh, 6 for 6 for Kirby Puckett.
Tonight, interleague play continues as the Twins trek to Milwaukee Will more memories be made? Find out next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And here we go on a beautiful night for baseball here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Brewers and the Twins. Randy Wolf ready to fire. And the game's first pitch is in there for a strike. And we're off and running here. First of a 3-game series, the Brewers and the Twins. Minnesota coming in red hot right now. Despite dropping 2 out of 3 to San Francisco, they have put together one of the best records in the month of June. See Ron Gardenhire, the manager of the year in 2010 in the American League. Got off to a dismal start at 32-41. Still a long way to go for the Twins, but they are back in it. When this month began, they were 16.5 back. Now they are just 8 back. As you see our umpiring crew tonight, Ron Kolpa, Dan Bellino, Joe Tumpain, and Daryl Cousins. Daryl Cousins is the crew chief. Randy Wolf against Ben Revere to start it. And that one is a fair ball down the line. It's going to hug the corner, and Revere's going to be able to run for a while. He'll stop at second with a double. So the Twins get it started with a leadoff double from Ben Revere.
Now the Minnesota Twins, as you talked about, have been red hot, and they're doing it with players that you don't hear about a whole lot. Does a nice job that time waiting back on a Randy Wolf curveball. Not a bad pitch. The Twins 12-10 against left-handed pitching this year, so they've been pretty good against lefties.
Randy Wolf against Scott Baker tonight, both pitching very well for their teams. As Casilla squares the bunt, takes one inside, ball 1. Well, right now the Twins are 8 back of the Indians in 4th place in the Central. They got some really bad news today, as Justin Morneau is going to be out for at least 6 weeks. He is going to need neck surgery. It was reported that he was getting his cast off today. He's been dealing with a left wrist injury, and that his return was imminent, maybe within 2 weeks. But neck surgery is the call for Minnesota. And Morneau is going to be down at least another 6 weeks this season.
Yeah, as if the news wasn't bad enough for the Twins, they are playing without 4 of their everyday players. Now, Jim Thome, Denard Span, Morneau, and Justin Kubel, all on the disabled list. But still, they're playing some pretty good baseball.
There's a push bunt. Casilla, that'll roll foul. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's give you the Minnesota Twins lineup tonight. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Ben Revere, Alexi Casilla, Joe Mauer at the top. In the middle, it's Michael Kadire, Delman Young, and Danny Valencia. Bottom 3 for Ron Gardenhire is Luke Hughes. He'll take over for Morneau at first, with Nishioka at short and Scott Baker rounding it out.
And Randy Wolf having a very good month of June so far. He's only 1-0 with a 245 earned run average. He should probably have 3 or 4 wins this month. He's thrown the baseball very well in 6 of his last 7 starts.
Bouncing ball back to Wolf. And an out at first without Revere advancing. Let's check the Brewers defensively behind Randy Wolf tonight. Brought to you by Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Normal outfield against a right-handed starter. And you got McGee, Betancourt, Weekson, Fielder around the horn with George Kataris catching Randy Wolf. Those two have hooked up pretty good here in the last few starts. And that was the battery combination last year in the second half when Randy Wolf really turned his season around. And he has maintained that pace into 2011. Here is Joe Mauer, just his 16th game of the season. Mauer did not play yesterday. The Twins were in San Francisco. And Mauer did not start yesterday. Back stiffness. Mauer was on the disabled list with what they call bilateral leg weakness. Had to be put on the 60-day disabled list. He was injured second week of April. Just returned on the 17th of June.
Yeah, unusual to look up on that scoreboard and see Joe Mauer hitting at 200. He's had a tough time getting it going since returning from the disabled list.
Mauer just 11 hits, 55 at-bats. No home runs at this point. He has driven in 6. Bouncing ball. Nice play. Randy Wolf will take the out at first. So 2 outs. Randy Wolf has started both. Ben Revere ends up at third base.
Yeah, some pretty aggressive base running by Revere at second base. He can scoot a little bit and was off like a shot. Had there been nobody out, I think Wolfie might have had a shot at third base. But Randy Revere going to take the shore out. I'm not going to chance a big inning, and he's got to get after Michael Cuddyer, perhaps the hottest of the Twins hitters. That's a good play by Wolf.
And we'll see how the Brewers work to Cuddyer. As Rock mentioned, he is red hot right now. He is riding a hitting streak of 12 games. You see his batting average at .291. When the hitting streak began, Cuddyer was batting .251. So even with over 250 at bats at this point, Cuddyer has been able to raise his batting average 40 points in the last 12 games. And hitting just shy of .500 during that stretch.
And perhaps the most consistent offensive player the Twins have had all year. Problem is, it's been very inconsistent in getting runners on in front of him. Yeah, he's a line-to-line type hitter, very similar to Ryan Braun. Not the kind of power that Braun will display, but you can see a batting average almost at .500. He's got the 3 home runs and has provided a lot of the pop for the Twins so far this year.
Has been much better against left-handed pitching. As a matter of fact, his batting average against lefties, the best in the American League. He's hitting .388 against lefties, and understandably so. Randy Wolf very careful to Cuddyer. He issues the walk with 2 away. First and third now for the Twins for Delmon Young.
I mentioned that the Twins are 12-10 against left-handed pitching, as opposed to 20-31 against righties. That's a big split right there.
It's a tough team to get your arms around statistically because of the nature of their play this year. The terrible start, 20 games under through the first 2 months, and then their exceptional play here in the month of June. So you try to figure out who this team is statistically, and it's hard to do at this point.
Well, that and the fact that we got so many of the regulars on the disabled list, it's hard to figure who the Twins are right now. You don't hear a whole lot about guys like Revere and Hughes, so you're not sure, if the stats are going to bear out. That and the fact that early in the year the Twins are on the road quite a bit. They played their 40th road game before their 22nd home game this year.
Minnesota under .500, 7 under .500 away from target field. Delmon Young has been at the heart of the Twins' struggles this year. He drove in 112 runs last year, the first time in his career he had a 100-plus RBI season. But here's a guy in 53 games with just 20 runs batted in on just 2 home runs. Last year hit 21 homers and 112 driven in 153 games. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Delmon Young. Bouncing ball over to Weeks, and he makes a play for the out. Randy Wolf is through the first. The Twins strand a pair. Here come the Brewers against Scott Baker. Brewers enjoying a much-needed day off yesterday. Now ready to start a weekend interleague series with the Minnesota Twins. Piggly Wiggly batting order: Ricky Weeks, Nyjer Morgan, and Ryan Braun. The middle is Fielder, McGee, and Hart, with Betancourt, Kataris, and Randy Wolf rounding it out. And that lineup will face Scott Baker, who is 5-4 this year with a 3.24 earned run average. He has been one of their best lately.
Yeah, we talked about the starting pitching on our open tonight. He's won 3 in a row. He's only allowed 4 runs in that stretch in 24 starts, or 24 innings in his last 3. You saw those 12 home runs, but only 3 in his last 6 starts. So he's throwing the baseball pretty well.
Scott Baker has won his last 3 wins against Cleveland, Texas, and San Diego. He beat the Padres his last time out with 8 shutout innings and a season high 10 strikeouts in that game. Only 4 hits allowed to the San Diego Padres. See the numbers on Ricky Weeks coming in: a .287 hitter. His on base percentage at .356. 14 home runs, 32 driven in for Weeks. Scott Baker coming off a win against San Diego. Might have been one of his best starts of the season, going 8 strong, just 4 hits. There was some talk that he might be able to finish that game, but 115 pitches. I think Ron Gardenhire was satisfied with 8 scoreless.
Yeah, and he's gotten a lot of mileage out of a fastball that tops out at about 91, 92 miles an hour. He likes to ride it high, but he's been the poster child of a revamped and resurgent starting rotation for this Minnesota Twins club. Last 19 games, 16 quality starts. These guys have been throwing the baseball well.
As Weeks draws the walk. The Twins defensively with Delmon Young, Ben Revere, and Michael Kadire in the outfield. Danny Valencia, Tsuyoshi Nishioka at short, Alexi Casilla and Luke Hughes around the horn, with Joe Mauer catching Scott Baker. Here is Nyjer Morgan with a runner on. And let's see if Morgan is up there to drop a bunt down. Nyjer coming in batting .336 this season, has a couple of home runs, 12 runs batted in. Morgan's on base percentage this year at .365. So getting some good production from the top of the order. As Weeks takes off, Morgan lifts one to right. Ricky's got a return, and Kadire will make the catch for out number 1. Our Nissan keys tonight on Scott Baker comes from hitting coach Dale Swain.
Baker's got a sneaky fastball, anywhere from 90 to 94. Gets a lot of pop-ups, a lot of foul balls with it. He's a guy you got to get on top of his fastball. He's not afraid of the strike zone with his fastball and slider and changeup. Throws kind of a slurvy type breaking ball. He's very aggressive in the strike zone. He's a guy you have to be aggressive with and get to him early, because he's very good at expanding the strike zone when he's ahead in 2 strikes.
Yeah, which ordinarily means you have to attack him early. Your first fastball, ordinarily the best one to hit. And as Dale said, he's very aggressive with his fastball, particularly up in the strike zone.
Ryan Braun with a .309 batting average, 15 homers, 54 driven in. Battled through an upper respiratory viral infection on this homestand. Knocked him out for a game, something he was dealing with on the last road trip, but the day off did everybody good, especially Ryan Braun. Brewers finished up a stretch where they played 20 games in 20 days, and now they will enjoy 2 off days in a 5-day stretch. There's an off day coming up Monday as well before the Brewers head to New York to take on the Yankees. From a coaching perspective, just talking to Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz, I think the off days will allow them to better set up their bullpen, and you're hoping that the starting pitchers will get an extra day here or there. Zach Greinke's actually going to get 2 days. So he'll be pitching on his 7th day.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, throughout the course of the season, there's nothing wrong with giving all of your starters that extra day, and you hope it's going to keep them strong as time goes on. And with the off days, it's going to do nothing but help the situation with Sean Markham trying to recover once again from that hip flexor situation that he's got going. So well-timed couple of days off for the Brewers.
Braun right to second. Casilla, Nishioka, and a double play. 4-6-3. Hitting over. We head to the second. The Twins coming up.
To Farmers Insurance report card, Ron Renicky says the Twins are playing well right now because they always find ways to score runs in close games. They rarely make the mistake that will beat them. And that manager Ron Gardenhire has the right personality for the job. He gets along great with his players, but he's tough when he has to be to get the most out of the team. And guys, I covered Ron Gardenhire when he was a shortstop with the Tidewater Tides, the Mets AAA team, in 1981. Of course, Ron and I would both tell you we were both 12 years old at the time.
That's going back a ways. So Mark Concannon with the history on the Twins manager. Gardenhire has been a good one. He is certainly deserving of all the accolades that he receives. And he paid his dues. He managed in the minor leagues, of course, and was Tom Kelly's protege in Minnesota. They've had excellent stability at the top ranks, which is why their organization has been so good, not just in the managerial seat, but all throughout their organization, their scouting department, player development. As Randy Wolf strikes out Danny Valencia to start the second inning. First strikeout for Randy Wolf.
Yep, Wolfie not afraid to come inside with that fastball. And that was a four-seamer, not the cut fastball. Valencia, you see the way he's leaning out over the plate, that front shoulder leaking to the outside corner. And he caught that inside edge for strike three. That was his last start against the Red Sox, the only win the Brewers are able to pick up in Boston. A dandy.
Luke Hughes batting for Minnesota. And a cut and a miss.
And you talk about, Twins baseball, fundamentally sound, making contact, not beating themselves defensively. That was kind of the head scratcher early in the season. The Twins were doing nothing right. Now all of a sudden they've turned things around with a bunch of guys that are up from the minor leagues. Back to playing quote unquote Twins baseball, and it's starting to work out again. You look at their statistics for the season, near the bottom of just about every category, but they're starting to pick things up a bit.
Now the Twins failed to advance a leadoff double in the first inning and were unable to score against Randy Wolf. Minnesota shut down yesterday by Tim Lincecum, and the Giants, they came from San Francisco, dropped 2 out of 3 to the Giants. Lincecum was on his game yesterday. Boy, he was tough to handle, and if you're looking at that game from a Brewers perspective, you're hoping facing Tim Lincecum will send this entire lineup in a slump. He was wicked last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. 2-2 to Hughes. A little bit low, not by much.
Yeah, Tim Lincecum will put any lineup in a slump. I mean, that guy has been lights out once again.
And Wolf lets Hughes get away. Second walk issued by Randy Wolf. His last start against the Boston Red Sox was a victory. First win for Randy Wolf since May 22nd, and it was a much-needed win at Fenway Park.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit early. Innings 2 through 4, the Red Sox were in business just about every one of those innings. Only 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. But after that, Wolf had 2 very good innings, and in the bullpen, Cameron Lowe and John Axford nailed down the win. That was a big win in Boston on that Saturday night.
Yeah, the only win the Brewers would salvage in that 3-game series.
Yeah, but Randy Wolf showed you that he can pitch himself in and get himself out of trouble in that start. Did a nice job with his fastball, his curveball very good, kept it down. And any time a left-hander can pitch at Fenway Park and not allow a home run, that's a pretty good night.
That was a 4-2 Milwaukee win. Wolf has already walked more in the first 2 innings of this game than he had in his last 14 innings in his last 2 starts.
Randy Wolf just trying to show you that it's not just the catcher he likes to have a chat with during an inning. Going to go over there and talk to Prince about something or other. Not sure what it is.
Well, you never knew a position player would beat guitarist to the mound tonight. It's a slow curveball to Nishioka.
Yeah, Randy likes meetings. Whoever is willing to have one with him.
Well, for the Twins, this is a player they are anxiously awaiting to arrive as a major leaguer. Had a successful run in Japan, and he waves and misses at that slow curve. And Nishioka, the second strikeout victim for Randy Wolf.
Yeah, tomorrow night against these Twins, all fans will receive a special coupon offer courtesy of Quick Trip. Call 414-902-4000 or go to Brewers.com for tickets.
So the second out, and it'll be the pitcher Scott Baker. Scott Baker batting .500. Disregard the 1 for 2. He's hitting .500 this year. Say, how you doing at the plate, Scott, this year? You don't get a chance to hit all that often. How you swinging it? Oh, I'm hitting .500.
Yeah.
Rake it. Got an on-base percentage of .500 too.
Well, you hope at the end of tonight that's going to go down a bit.
Baker's hit was a double. His lone hit. And a bouncing ball up the middle, a base hit. So here's Scott Baker with 2 hits on the season, the Twins pitcher. And now it's first and second against Randy Wolf. 2 away, back to the top of the order.
Yep, left that fastball down the middle, down about mid-thigh. It's about the speed and the spot where a pitcher's going to be able to get a bat on it. Extends the inning.
And here has Ben Revere, who doubled to start this game. Pulled a ground ball just over the bag at first base, down into the right field corner. Those who cover the Twins daily, they talk about the biggest difference in this season and why they are winning so much in the month of June, and they point to this man at the plate. Ben Revere is the big reason why. He's brought a lot of energy to this team. He's very fast, hitting out of that leadoff spot.
Well, he'll steal a base. He's 6 for 9 in stolen bases. Casilla leads the club with 11. It's not a team that runs a whole lot. They bring a little bit of energy, you know, similar to Nyjer Morgan. But he's no Denard Span, that's for sure. They missed Span at the top of the order.
Bouncer out to Betancourt. He'll take it to the bag for the easy one. Inning over. 2 scoreless for Wolf. Prince Fielder ready to lead off when we come back. This weekend as well, so we're looking forward to that. Finally, a little sunshine. Check the Powerball home run leaderboard as we open play tonight. Prince Fielder leads the club with 20 home runs. He and Matt Kemp still tied for the National League lead with 20. Ryan Braun with 15. He is currently 8th in the NL. And there is your National League RBI leader as well. Not Bernie Brewer, but Prince Fielder. And Bernie is ready to do some sliding tonight. Brewers would like to get their offense back intact. Scott Baker faced 3 batters in the first. He issued a leadoff walk to Ricky Weeks, but then got Ryan Braun to ground into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. It's interesting defensively for the Twins. Every time the Twins and the Brewers match up, not only is the shift on, that's normal for Fielder, but Gardenhire plays his outfielders about as deep as any opponent the Brewers will face this year.
And they started that a few years ago. They were the first to do it against Milwaukee. They're taking away the slugging percentage for the Brewers, cutting off the gaps. You know, what would normally be a double, they're deep enough to be able to cut off a ball in that right center field, left center field gap. Ball down the line is going to be a double regardless.
Oh, 0-2 to Fielder. Ball and 2 strikes. Prince batting .306 to start play today. Casey McGee will follow. Fielder among the National League leaders in many categories. Leads the league in RBIs and home runs. He is close to the top 10 in batting average. He's just a few percentage points outside of the top 10 right now. And a swing and a miss. Baker amping it up a little bit. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball for out number 1. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors showcases the ultimate in outdoor programming. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, experience everything from the pursuit of fish and game to exploring the best weekend destinations. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors presented by Menards. Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 8 a.m. only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Casey McGee with one away. First strikeout for Scott Baker. Casey at 229 on the year with 4 homers, 32 driven in. Had a good road trip driving in runs. Finally back to what he is accustomed to. Hitting behind Prince Fielder. McGee just 2 hits on this homestand. He's 2 for 11.
And it's been a struggle from day one for Casey. Well, as many runners there have been on in front of McGee this year.
And down on strikes he goes. Baker back to the fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts on the fastball. He gets Fielder and McGee.
Well, he got Fielder on a 2-seamer at 94. Here's a 4-seamer. Outer half up in the zone. That's what we were talking about with Scott Baker. He's not afraid to throw that fastball upstairs. And that's a pitch you have to lay off of. Casey goes after it and swings right through it.
So 2 gone, 2 strikeouts. Remember, Baker coming off a 10 strikeout game. His last time out, a season high. Corey Hart with 2 away. Hart on the homestand is 2 for 9. And comes in batting .268. A lot of swings and misses here in the second inning. Baker and the rest of the Twins wearing the number 3 patch for Harmon Killebrew on their jerseys.
And one of the great guys, one of the great men that's played the game. Just a fine gentleman, Harmon Killebrew. He's going to be missed amongst baseball circles. And around Minnesota, you'd see him at the Twins games very often. He'd be in town. Some kind of hitter back in the old Met.
And the count goes to 3-2. So Baker had him 0-2. Now Corey Hart has it full. See what he does with him on a 3-2 pitch. Both of his strikeouts in this inning on fastballs. Back to the fastball. He missed, and Corey Hart is aboard. That's a good at-bat, a 2-out walk for Corey Hart.
Well, you heard Dale Swaim talking about it when he was referring to Baker and his pitches, that he'll get ahead of you and then try and have you chase off the corners. Baker did a little bit too much of that. Casey, or I should say Corey Hart, very patient and able to draw the walk. Missed with the 2-seam fastball on the full count.
And that'll give Yuniesky Betancourt an at-bat here in the second inning. Betancourt has a pretty good history against Scott Baker. He is 9 for 28 with a home run in his career. That's a .321 batting average. And you figure Baker is a good combination for Betancourt. A free swinger against a guy who likes to get ahead early with a fastball. It's Scott Baker.
And Betancourt likes the high fastball. This is the 8th start for Baker against Milwaukee. He's 4-3 with a 5.28 earned run average. He was hitting pretty good last year.
A lot of the Brewers have seen him. Nobody more than Betancourt as he rips one. Oh, what a stop. Casilla to second for the out. A great play from the Twins second baseman. Alexi Casilla, acrobatic out to end the inning. Well, some kind of play right there. Tough luck for Betancourt. We go to the third. Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat. It is a series they call the Border Battle. The Brewers and the Twins. Minnesota and Wisconsin coming together for the first of 6 meetings this year. Alexi Casilla, after that great defensive play at second base to end the inning in the bottom of the second, leads off here in the third. Switch hitting second baseman. And that slow curveball for Randy Wolf.
He's got a good one going tonight. Well, the only mistake he made with that curveball was to Revere in his first at bat in the first inning. And that wasn't that bad of a pitch either. Always seems to be a different pattern every time Randy goes out there. He doesn't really pin himself into one pattern each and every start. His last start against the Red Sox, a lot of fastballs. Tonight seems like a lot of curveballs.
And there is a fastball that surprised Casilla for his third strikeout. We heard from Brewers pitching coach Rick Kranitz about the season of Randy Wolf.
The guy, for me, has pitched as well as anybody in the National League, and you know, we've he's had a lot of those wins taken away from him late in the ball game, and you know, there's one guy on this staff that probably should have the consideration of being on the All-Star team. It's him. I really believe that. I think he's thrown the ball that well.
Rick Kranitz with high praise for Randy Wolf.
He could easily have 9 or 10 wins.
No doubt.
I mean, he's 5-4, but he's pitched much better than that. I mean, evidenced by his good earned run average at 3.15 coming in.
Mauer sends it foul. Well, Zach Greinke seems to be the guy who gets the run support at this part of the schedule right now, and the record certainly reflects that run support. Greinke is 7-2. Wolf is on the other end of the spectrum. He seems like the guy who is in the low scoring ball games. But a fastball by Mauer. Narveson will pitch in this series. The two left-handers split up by Rick Kranitz and Ron Renicky. It'll be Wolf, then Gallardo, and then Narveson will have the finale on Sunday afternoon. Gallardo against Francisco Liriano tomorrow. We'll have that for you on Fox Sports Wisconsin. So good pitching matchups in this series. Mauer goes to the opposite field. Braun is there. And there is out number 2. Mauer is 0 for 2.
Hey, on Sunday, bring your Miller High Life bottle caps to any Miller Park gate. The more collected, the more High Life experiences will be given to returning soldiers through the IAVA. Visit MillerHighLife.com for information. Returning soldiers from the Afghanistan-Iraq wars, 10 cents per bottle cap. So drink up.
Cuddyer was walked his last time up. Fouls one off of Kotaris. And as all good home plate umpires will do, he'll take a trip to the mound to give that catcher an extra minute to clear the cobwebs. Ron Kulpa is behind the plate tonight.
Because there are times when a catcher has to do the same.
Another slow curveball lifted in the air to center field. Morgan will make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Randy Wolf. Kotaris, Wolf, then Weeks will bat when we continue. Miller Park on a Friday night for baseball. Our Carsoup.com email the booth question comes from Walt, and he wants to know, with Pujols injured, are the Brewers the favorite in the NL Central now? I think in many circles the Brewers were the favorites before Pujols was injured, but certainly the Pujols injury might change the complexion of the division. But the way the Cardinals go, I mean, you know, they're in a first place tie to start play today. They seem to figure it out.
Well, in the offseason, nobody gave the Cardinals much of a chance, right? So I guess it all depends on who you consider to be the expert as far as who the front runners are in these divisions. And you know, the Cardinals aren't going to go away. You know, there's going to be they're going to figure out a way to stay in this race. And I think it's going to go right down to the wire this year. You got 3 teams that could very well win that division.
Now the Cincinnati Reds start play today 2 back of the Brewers and Cardinals in a first place tie. As Kataris strikes out, and Baker with his 3rd K of the game, and all 3 of his strikeouts coming on the fastball.
Shouldn't come as much surprise that that's a good 2-seam fastball. Started right down the middle, ended up on the corner. Actually, Mauer wanted that ball in the inside corner. Good movement. 2-seamer, 4-seamer tonight for Scott Baker.
3 of his last 4 outs coming via the K. And here is Randy Wolf trying to return the favor to his mound opponent. Baker singled off Wolf in the 2nd inning. St. Louis is home tonight, by the way. They are playing the Blue Jays. And Toronto has a 2-1 lead over the Cardinals. That game's in the 3rd inning. Cardinals dropped 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. St. Louis won last night to make up that half game. But it's not as if the Brewers have gone along smooth sailing here. I think Milwaukee, now that most of the pieces are back, you still have to remember that a lot of big pieces were gone from this team coming out of spring training, including their #1 pitcher, Zach Greinke, who missed 5 weeks. It takes time for a starting pitcher to get back, get his legs under him. Greinke is out to a 7-2 start. While the Cardinals have been bitten the most by the injury bug with key players, I don't think you can underestimate what the Brewers have been able to do with key pieces missing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that and the fact that Chris Carpenter's got 1 win. Wainwright's out. I mean, still 1 win for Chris Carpenter, and we're in the latter part of June. And the Cardinals in a tie for first place. Who would have thought?
Randy Wolf serves one right field. That's going to fall, a base hit. Might have sounded like a wet newspaper, but it ends up as a knock to right field for Randy Wolf.
Well, it's a happy wet newspaper. It's not how, it's how many in this game. It's all about results. Yep, out in front, looked like a breaking ball that hung up there for Wolf, right on the end of the bat, able to get the barrel out on it and hook it down the right field line. And most outfields are going to be a lot shallower than that with a pitcher up, but not with Randy Wolf at the plate. He's got some pop in that bat of his.
So here is Ricky Weeks now. He walked his last time up, and he has a base runner on. And Baker starts him with a breaking ball. A lot of early fastballs and counts for Baker. 2nd time through the order, changes it up, goes with a curveball, and Weeks was out in front. Weeks has made up significant ground in the All-Star voting, and we are certainly encouraging you to vote. This is the last day of voting in the ballpark But you can continue to vote online until the 30th of June. Little bouncer. Nishioka goes to the bag, throws to first, not in time. Weeks just beats it out. Nishioka showed great patience there with Randy Wolf running to second. He waited for the ball and then a quick tap, but Weeks too fast, and he beats it down the line.
Yeah, it was a pretty good play up the middle. And as you mentioned, the timing was disrupted just a little bit. He got there, had his foot on the bag. They just had to wait for the ball to get there, and able to make a good throw, but Ricky able to beat it just barely at first base, keeping that inning alive. And nice play. There's that breaking ball that Ricky chased with 2 strikes off the outside corner.
Here's Nyjer Morgan now with 2 away. Last time Morgan was up, Weeks took off. Morgan put the ball in play in a routine fly ball out to right field.
Yeah, Ricky had it stolen too. Somewhat surprised that Nyjer didn't take it and allow Ricky to get to second base.
Nyjer is always a threat to bunt, and with 2 strikes, a threat to bunt for a hit.
And ordinarily you wouldn't want to do that with 2 outs, but with Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder behind you in the batting order, it's a little bit different.
Weeks has 7 stolen bases this year. He's been caught twice. Hasn't been in too many running situations. Typically hitting in front of Braun and Fielder, and with a guy like Morgan up there who in most innings less than 2 outs, he's usually up there bunting, or with nobody out for sure to start a game. But you figure this to be a running situation here. Even if he's thrown out, Morgan would lead off the 4th inning. And Baker, knowing that, trying to keep Ricky Weeks close. And Braun anxiously awaiting a shot at Baker.
Now we've seen how rusty Mauer has been at the plate, and probably equally as rusty behind home plate, making throws to second base. So if you can get a jump, go.
Weeks has a good lead. He stays put. Morgan takes a strike. A high strike from Scott Baker. That's 1-1.
And that's not good news. If Ron Culp was going to give Baker that high strike, that's going to help him all night. He likes to throw the fastball up there, and what you're told as a hitter, lay off of it. Don't swing at it, but if he's going to call it for a strike, all bets are off.
And Morgan sawed off. A little pop up behind third. Valencia's got it, and the inning is over. Baker strands a base runner. We head to the 4th inning, scoreless.
surprise of pitchers duel. Randy Wolf, 3 scoreless innings, 3 strikeouts. Wolfie 2-0, 2.03 ERA over his last 6 starts. Scott Baker looking to win his 4th straight start, 3 scoreless innings, 3 strikeouts. Guys, a big crowd here waiting for some fireworks. Nothing but zeros on the board, but the Twins have something going early here, B.A.
And leadoff single for Delmon Young in the right center. And the Twins for the 2nd inning tonight. Their leadoff batter reaches.
Yeah, pretty good job of inside outing a fastball down the middle by Delmon Young. That's a good piece of hitting right there. Ordinarily, you would think a big guy like that would try and pull it. Went right with it into right field.
Runner at first for Danny Valencia. And he's swinging away at the first pitch. Fielder wants it. Clears ground, and it's out number 1. Check our AT&T trivia tonight from Miller Park. Our question: which Twins pitcher has the most wins versus the Brewers all time? Twins pitcher, the biggest winner against Milwaukee. As Luke Hughes steps in.
That could very well be one of my contemporaries. Yeah, maybe Bert. I don't know. How long he was with the Twins long enough. Frankie Sweet Music Viola. Guys like that. That was a pretty good team back in the 80s.
Back in the American League days.
Right.
Bert Blyleven, the newly minted Hall of Famer.
Right.
On the air tonight with Twins television. He and Dick Brimmer, our buddies over there, calling the action.
Yeah, about a month away before he's inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bert looking good these days. He's got the goatee back. I like it. He was clean shaven last year.
Prepping for the Hall of Fame.
Right.
How's that speech coming along?
He says he hasn't even started it yet. I don't believe that.
Nah, I don't believe that at all.
Don't they all say that? It's about time. 287 big league wins.
Such a gentle, polite man.
You talking about Bert?
You and Bert had a nice little back and forth on the pregame show today. Brewers Live pregame.
Yeah.
It was nicely done.
Yeah.
Some very informative content. Some random statistics.
Right. We were supposed to be talking about the approach and how Michael Kadire hits and Ryan Braun, and right in the middle of my spiel he goes off and says the Twins have been involved in 33 one-run games. I mean, come on, Bert, where's that coming from?
He was just trying to disrupt your train of thought.
And he did. Because I was afraid maybe he'd hit me if I didn't pay attention to him. Great guy, Bert Blyleven.
Yeah.
Boy, what a great teammate he was.
That skips away from Kotaris. And Young ends up at second base on a wild pitch.
And Bert and I were together as members of the California Angels back in '89 and '90.
And a post-game instructional, I understand, tonight with you two.
Yeah, he asked me if I'd be willing to block some curveballs that he would throw.
Full gear. Bouncing ball to short. Betancourt makes a play, and Hughes retired. 2 outs in the inning, still a runner at second base.
I actually wasn't willing to block those curveballs when we played together. Hey fans, this 4th of July, celebrate America with America's favorite pastime. Come out to Miller Park for the Brewers Diamondbacks game at 3:10 p.m. Plus, Clemens hot dogs are just $1 each. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. Had some Clemens hot dogs on my grill last night.
I bet you did.
I did. Nice bun. I'm a big mustard and relish guy.
What'd you go for last night? The Italians or
hot dogs?
Oh, you did go.
Oh yeah,
straight hot dog. Okay.
Yep.
Well, it is that time of year. Little tapper back to Randy Wolf. Ishioka retired. The inning is over. A leadoff single. Wolf works around it. And the muscle coming up. Braun, Fielder, McGee. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Scoreless at Miller Park.
The community, and Wednesday night, Prince Fielder hosted a bowl-a-thon in Pinstripes Bowling at Bayshore Town Center. The event raising money for the YMCA to build a centralized school library for Youth Leaders Academy that's located at the north side. Why? The guys showing good form. 150 Brewer fans got to bowl with the big man. Pretty cool stuff, guys.
Now I like how LaTroy Hawkins goes lefty. Randy Wolf bowling with his right hand. See, that's the way you do it. Smart pitchers bowling with their opposite hand.
You don't want to be blowing out in the bowling alley, that's for sure. That bowling ball, 16-pound bowling ball, whatever, the way it is, can't be good for an elbow.
Unless you go to the Corey Provis bag. He uses the 8-pounder. As Braun leads off, takes a strike from Baker. 1-1 to count on Ryan Braun.
The bowling ball with the little smiley faces on, the pictures of Barney.
Yes, that one. Put the gutters up and you're ready to go. Braun bounced into a double play his last time up. Count even to 2-2. Baker is just tough to figure out. He works all the corners, all the quadrants. Moves you in and out as a hitter. They call it rocking the boat.
Yeah. Well, Dale was talking about he's got a sneaky fastball, which means sometimes it's tough to pick up out of his hand. He hides it well. You don't see it until the last second, and because of that, it gets on you quickly.
Got jammed a little bit. Back is Revere, and he's got it for out number 1. Well, Ryan Braun will be headed to the All-Star game this July. Baseball's biggest stars like Ryan Braun will gather together in Arizona for one spectacular night. It's the summer's biggest event as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix. 7 Central, only on Fox. Fielder headed to the All-Star game, you would think. He better. Still has a chance to get to Phoenix as a starter. Voting will conclude next week, and we are certainly encouraging you to log on to Brewers.com and vote Brewers, especially for Fielder and Ricky Weeks at this point. Braun is leading all National League players in votes.
I can't take that for granted either. Just got to keep voting.
Fielder third behind Pujols and Votto. And Ricky Weeks second behind Brandon Phillips. Pujols will not be participating in the All-Star game. He's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Broken wrist, broken forearm. 2-1 to Prince. A little bit late, and it's 2-2. Fielder a strikeout victim his last time up. Baker struck him out with a fastball. On to the breaking ball here. Fielder lays off.
Well, still more walks and strikeouts for Prince Fielder, which is an incredible statistic in its own right. And one of the reasons why he does lead the league in RBIs and home runs. Swinging at strikes.
Only Matt Kemp with a higher slugging percentage than Fielder, and he draws a walk right on cue. So a 1-out base runner for Casey McGee. Back to our AT&T trivia. Our question tonight: which Twins pitcher has the most wins versus the Brewers all time? And it is Bert Blyleven. 16 wins against Milwaukee.
Captain Hook. There he is. Best curveball I've ever faced and ever caught, for that matter.
Jim Cott was a good guess. He's on that list.
I was down on the field when Gorman Thomas walked up to Bert, talking about that curveball.
McGee into shallow left center. Long run with the outfielders deep. That is going to fall. A base hit. And there's an example of how the deep outfield can hurt you. As Ron Gardenhire tries to protect from the extra base hits, McGee gets a cheap single out of it.
And that, in fact, looked like the shortstop gave up on it a little bit too soon. Nishioka, you can see where he's at. He really just turns around, doesn't really give it much of an effort out there. And not that he would have got there, but when you have your outfield playing as deep as the Twins outfield is playing, that shortstop and second baseman, they have to get out there. And further look, there's no way that the shortstop was going to be able to get there, but still in all, got to keep going. You never know.
Well, maybe something cooking here. 2 on with 1 out. Fielder at second, McGee at first, and Corey Hart the batter. Baker is working all around the corners and getting strikes. He has issued 3 walks in this game, which is more walks than he had combined in his last 24 innings leading up to this matchup tonight. This is the part of the order where the Brewers need production. Once you get past Prince Fielder, got Hart at the plate, Betancourt next. Those are the numbers over the last 3 starts for Baker. All wins. Pitching deep into ball games, had that complete game effort against Texas. Gave up just 1 earned run. He's only walked 1 batter in those last 3 starts.
Yeah, the whole rotation for the Twins has been getting deep into games in the last 2.5 weeks. And Baker allowing 4 runs in 24 innings before tonight's start.
Baker has walked Weeks, Corey Hart, and Prince Fielder in this game tonight through the first 4 innings. Two on with 1 away. Hart sitting on 7 home runs for the year. And he hits that one hard right field, slicing away from Cuddyer. That is down for a base hit. In to score is fielder. McGee will be held up as Hart bangs a double down the right field line, and the Brewers are on the board.
Well, good job by Corey Hart taking that pitch away from him right down that right field line. Good job. Didn't try and pull it. Rattling around in that corner. Casey held up at third base, but a good at bat. Hart was down in the count 0-2. And finally got a breaking ball up in the zone. Went right with it down the line. And even with Cuddyer playing very deep and right, not able to get there.
Corey Hart safe at second, safe and secure. New York Life. RBI double for Hart. 1-0 Brewers here in the 4th inning. Now 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And here is Yuniesky Betancourt. Betancourt was robbed of a hit his last time up. It was a great play from Alexi Casilla at second base. A diving stop on a shot on 1 hop. Casilla able to flip to second to end the inning. Well, for whatever reason, Betancourt seems to see the baseball out of Baker's hand pretty well. He's got good numbers in his career. Of his 9 career hits against Scott Baker, 1 of those a home run. And Baker's only struck him out once in 29 career at-bats.
Just one of those things. Every hitter has a guy that he sees the baseball pretty well against.
Yeah, Betancourt got under that one. Over to take a look is Hughes. And that's going to bounce off the dugout.
Betancourt and Prince Fielder have had the best success against Scott Baker. You see the numbers. Prince he was 400 coming into tonight's game with a couple of homers.
A run is in, just 1 out. Outfield still very deep against Betancourt. It has cost the Twins in this inning. Best arm in the outfield is Cuddyer in right. As Betancourt lifts it in the air. Shallow left center. See if they're going to take a chance here. Young makes the catch. And here comes Casey McGee. And here comes a throw. And McGee is out at home. McGee saying he slipped a hand in there. But the Twins are out of the inning. They took a shot. Young has not been throwing the ball well this year. That was the guy they pinned a run on, and he made him pay for it.
A nice play by Joe Mauer at home plate. Betancourt not able to get the ball deep enough into left field, but look at Mauer where he's standing. I'm sure he's under strict orders not to be blocking home plate too much. And you can see Mauer with the tag. He caught a pretty tough hop. That was an in-between hop that he was able to handle. And made the tag on Casey just before he hit the plate. Our Home Depot doing more in defense. Nice play by Joe Mauer.
Well, the Twins get a double play to end the inning, get Baker off the hook. The Brewers do score a run. You know, just watching that play, it reminds me of the Carlos Santana play of the Cleveland Indians a season ago, sticking that leg out there, trying to block the plate. You know, there's all this conversation about Buster Posey, and Mauer certainly gave McGee plenty of plate to slide to. But when you stick your leg out there exposed like that, you're asking for it typically. As Weeks over the shoulder makes a catch.
That's why
Baker's retired.
Ordinarily, it's not a very good, idea to slide head first into home plate. Now, if he goes feet first, he may be able to spin Mauer, a little bit off balance. But you can see able to put the tag on Casey just a split second before he touches home plate. Nice play by Mauer. You see how much into fair territory Mauer is. The Twins, I would imagine, saying to Mauer after watching that Buster Posey play, hey, we don't need you hurt anymore. It's only one run.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point about the pickup, though, with the catcher's mitt and all. You saw that ball pop out just a little bit, but a two-handed grab by Mauer, and he was able to make the tag. Little chopper, got to hurry here. Weeks throws, and a strong throw to get the runner Revere. Wow.
Nice play by Ricky. Wow.
Armed to the second baseman in the league with that kind of arm to be able to finish off that play.
He took a tricky hop and then threw it right over the top. A very tough throw. Didn't sidearm it at all. Didn't feel as though he can get enough on the throw if he sidearmed it. Watch the way he gets on top. He jumps and able to get him by an eyelash. A nice play by Weeks.
Well, that one had some finish to it. Sounded like a pitcher when he deals to the plate, the pop of the mitt at first base. What a luxury to have a second baseman with that kind of throwing arm to make a play like that on a very fast runner in Revere. Randy Wolf will take this one. Nice tidy 1-2-3 inning. Beautiful play from Weeks. He continues to rack up the highlights this season.
And tonight's timer of the game winner is Nelson's Strike Zone in Waupaca. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Second series of this homestand. Brewers dropped 2 out of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays to start it, and now the Minnesota Twins here for 3. Milwaukee headed on the road. Next week they'll go to Yankee Stadium. That'll be a fun series, the Brewers and the Yankees. And then to Minnesota. So the interleague rival, the home and home series with the Twins, wraps up next weekend. And then the Brewers are back against the Diamondbacks and the Reds, the last homestand before the All-Star break. And they'd like to get things turned around as Kataris bangs one out to Casilla. One gone here in the 5th inning for Milwaukee.
Yeah, come out to Miller Park July 4th through the 6th as the Brewers take on the first place Arizona Diamondbacks. Both teams are tops in the National League in home run hitting. So there will be plenty of fireworks for the festive series. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com. Yeah, right now, both the Diamondbacks and the Brewers tied for the National League lead. 86 home runs.
Randy Wolf into the right center field gap. That's going to get down a base hit. And Wolf is 2 for 2 against Scott Baker. Nicely done.
Well, you can't take Randy Wolf lightly up there at the plate. That was a two-seamer. That wasn't a bad pitch. It might have got too much of the plate, but it was down, and he's able to golf it out there in the right center. And once again, Randy Wolf with the base hit brings the top of the order to the plate.
Wolf had 4 hits on the season coming into this game, has 2 tonight. He is 6 for 28 at the plate. And now Ricky Weeks with a runner on. And a chance at a quick strike with Weeks at the plate. Has been on twice. And he rips one to center field, a base hit, a rocket to center. First and second, 1 away. And the Brewers continue to put base runners on against Scott Baker tonight.
Yeah, why bother letting that first pitch fastball go by? Because after he gets ahead of you, he's just going to nitpick at the corners. There it is, right down the middle, and Ricky able to center on it and drive it hard into center field. And middle in, down above the knees. Why waste it?
That ball was scalded, went out as fast as it came in. Here's Nyjer Morgan. Brewers got a run last inning on a Corey Hart single. And the Brewers being aggressive, sending Casey McGee, took a great throw and catch from Mauer. And they just got McGee by inches at the plate. Ended up as a double play to end the inning. And now the Brewers right back at it, looking for more. You got Braun on deck. Morgan takes a bender for a strike. Twins got in last night around 10 o'clock from San Francisco. The Brewers were off yesterday. Morgan making sure they're awake in that Twins dugout. Sent one right over Gardenhire's head. Former big league infielder. He's still got his agility, right?
Never lose it completely.
And Morgan strikes out. That's a big strikeout for Baker, as Ryan Braun will step in. Check the Powerball home run count for the Brewers. 86 this year. Rock was talking about all the home runs, and it's been the Brewers and the Diamondbacks going back and forth all season. 86 team home runs for Milwaukee. Ryan Braun with 15 of those. Brewers have not homered since Tuesday. Yudesky Betancourt homered against Tampa Bay in the second inning Tuesday. Braun goes to right. That ball's pretty well hit. Back is Kadire. Can't get it. And it one hops out of here. That is going to cost the Brewers a run as Wolf will score, but Ricky Weeks will have to return to third base. But a ground rule double and an RBI, and it's 2-0 Milwaukee.
Man, that kid just continues to impress you. Ryan Braun, that ball, he caught that ball back in his hitting zone. He didn't really get good extension, but his swing just provides so much extension and so much leverage that ball just jumps off of his bat. High fastball. Watch how far back into the hitting zone he catches his baseball. I mean, that bat is at an angle going back toward home plate. And just out of the reach of Kadire once again, just like the Corey Hart double.
That double by Braun extends his hitting streak to 15 games. That is the third streak this year, hitting streak of 10 or more this season for Braun. He has been so good. During the streak, he's hitting .333. And an RBI that gives the Brewers a 2-0 lead. Baker will walk Fielder with a base open at first. It's the 10th time that Fielder has been intentionally walked, which is tied for first in the National League with Matt Kemp. So the stage is set for McGee as we take you back to the Ryan Braun double.
Now you have to be real strong to be able to do what Ryan did. Look at the point of contact right here. That ball was down on the handle a little bit. He really didn't get good extension. Ordinarily you're going to get that ball out in here a little bit, but he's just so strong and he has that leverage with that big long bat, able to hit a rope in the right field. Not many can do that.
Braun the double, Fielder the intentional walk, and now Casey McGee with bases loaded in a spot where he was so good a season ago, leading the club in RBIs. It has been a struggle for him this season, but you still have that feeling if McGee can come through in situations like this, can get himself back on track, and that could be a huge lift for Milwaukee offensively.
And this would be a very good time to do it right here. The more success that Casey has behind Fielder, the more apt teams are going to have to be willing to pitch to Prince.
Quick trip to the mound for Mauer.
And I think a little bit of the issue for Casey McGee is represented that last swing, that fastball up, a pitch that he would crush into the gap last year. He's fouling off.
No balls and a strike on McGee. And that one at the top of the zone just missed a little high. Casey able to lay off. The fact that Braun's double bounced out of here cost the Brewers a run. Weeks certainly would have scored from first base. But everybody gets two bases when it bounces out on the ground rule double. McGee singled his last time up. Dumped one in front of the deep outfield of the Twins in left center. Has 2 career grand slams. And he's tied up by the fastball. It's 1-2. Advantage to the offense with those numbers against Baker. 265 opponent's batting average. Two outs, 2-0 Brewers. And a chance for McGee to open it up. In the air to center. And Revere is going to make the play. Inning over. The Brewers strand the bases loaded. but Braun drives in one. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. At Miller Park, and a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Brewers. A few Twins fans have made their way inside Miller Park.
They're welcome.
Come on, come all. We welcome them as long as you keep them in their place, keep them quiet. And the Brewers have managed to do that so far.
And spend money.
So Randy Wolf now pitching with a 2-0 lead, facing Joe Mauer to start the sixth. Mauer hit a sinking line drive in the third inning to Ryan Braun. It was caught toward the line. And a bouncer over the pitcher. This is Betancourt. And a good play for out number one. As we check in with Mark Concannon with a report from down on the farm. What do you have, Mark?
Some good stuff, B.A. Cody Scarpetta, right-handed pitcher of Huntsville, Southern League Pitcher of the Week. Terrific stats from last week. He's done very well in 14 starts. And Tyler Thornburg, another right-hander, selected to the annual XM All-Stars Futures game at Chase Field. Look at his stats there. He has been promoted to Brevard County. The thing about Thornburg, guys, he hit 24 home runs at Charleston Southern University. That's still a school record, a pitcher with a little pop.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him break into Double-A ball. That's where they start hitting for the first time if you're with a National League affiliate. Tyler Thornburg has been a huge story in the minor league system. He is 7-0 with a 1.57 ERA in 12 starts down in the Midwest League. So all of a sudden Thornburg is going to be promoted to Brevard County, and that's the progression typically for a player. Midwest League, Florida State League, and then you move up from there.
Yeah, you got to be careful rushing guys through the minor leagues too quickly. You want to have them, go up gradually, go up through the ranks. Maybe have him play with, alongside of a lot of the teammates, like Braun Field or like Fielder and Ricky Weeks. Those guys, they went up to the minor leagues together. But you really, there's a lot of different instances where you have a player that really excelled early on in the low minor leagues. You bring them up too quickly. You bring them up too quickly into Double-A, Triple-A, and they all of a sudden they lose their confidence. They're not as successful. 76 strikeouts this year for Thornburg.
Leads all minor leaguers.
Matt Gamble continues to swing the bat well. 50 RBIs for Gamble.
So Gamble's doing a good job at first base. Talked to Doug Melvin about that. They like the way he's handled himself over at first base this year. He's made a position change. It's not that he couldn't go back to third base, but he's playing every day at first for Don Money's Nashville Sounds. There's another base hit for Delmon Young. That's twice now Young has singled off Randy Wolf, and on both occasions just shortening up his swing and slapping one to right center.
Man, this time it was supposed to be a fastball in and was up a little bit. Delmon Young, although he did get jammed a little bit, he's strong enough to be able to muscle that one over the head of Ricky Weeks and into center field.
So Young is 2 for 3 tonight, and suddenly the Twins have the tying run on. Go ahead run at the plate in Danny Valencia.
He jumped on a first pitch fastball last time up and popped it up. So if you're Randy Wolf, remember that. Be careful with the fastball here.
And Valencia sends one deep to left field. Ryan Braun is back, and there it goes. The Twins have taken the lead with one swing of the bat. Danny Valencia, 3-run home run.
And what was it? First pitch fastball, right? Well, last time up, jumped on the first pitch, popped it up. This time up, first pitch fastball. Actually a cutter. Stayed right down the middle of the plate, and Valencia knocks it out of here. Well, that didn't take long. That ball way back and left.
And with that home run, Valencia snaps an 0 for 13 stretch at the plate. Now a bunt. Wolf jumps on it, and he makes a play for the out. Luke Hughes trying to bunt his way on, out number 2.
Yeah, on Friday, July 8th, fans 21 and older can sample craft beer from Leinenkugel's with the purchase of a $36 club outfield ticket in select sections. Call 414-902-4641 or visit brewers.com/brews. That sounds like a good time.
Nishioka showing bunt, takes a strike. Danny Valencia, his 8th home run of the year. Only Kadire has more home runs for the Twins this year. And a quick strike for the Minnesota Twins. Good looking changeup for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes on Nishioka. And down he goes. Randy Wolf strikes out the Twins' number 8 hitter, but gives up a big 3-run homer to Danny Valencia. 3-2 Twins. Reminding you to please play responsibly. By Airtran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. By the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. And by Robert Hack Diamonds. See 10,000 pieces of jewelry this Sunday only. Under the lights of Miller Park, elsewhere in the major leagues, Roy Oswalt placed on the disabled list with the Philadelphia Phillies. He got roughed up yesterday. Aroldis Chapman back in the big leagues after a stretch in the minor leagues. And how about the news out of Washington yesterday, as the Nationals had a walk-off win, had a sweep of the Mariners. John McLaren named as the interim manager after Jim Riggleman resigned after the game last night.
And the Washington Nationals, 1 game over 500, 8.5 games back. That was a stunner.
Riggleman is a very well-respected manager, baseball man around the league. Surprising that he resigned. He was wanting to open up discussions for a contract extension. Mike Rizzo, the Nationals general manager, was not ready to have those discussions. And even though Riggleman is signed on a contract through this season, he walked away from the job.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something you see very often. John McLaren, a longtime baseball man, he's going to be taking over for the Nationals, and that's a team that has been playing some pretty good baseball and just going to get better. Ryan Zimmerman back at it. He's back and healthy. Pitching staff has been pretty good. Surprise.
Now the Nationals are in Chicago tonight. There was some talk. Mike Rizzo said he had a manager in mind that would be in place on Monday. That was his quote yesterday. McLaren takes over in an interim role. Nice pickup from Luke Hughes on a tough hop, and Corey Hart is retired. So 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question. Sarah in Germantown, what are you guys going to wear with your green jackets tomorrow? That's right. It is Green Week here at the Milwaukee Brewers, and these are what we're going to break out tomorrow.
Yeah, there they are, the green.
Tradition unlike any other.
I can honestly say that I've never owned a green jacket.
Betancourt, deep left, not deep enough. 2 outs in the inning. Well, you do now, partner. Question is, what do you wear with the green jacket?
Yeah, what goes with it, right?
I mean, do you go with a Packer gold tie?
I have no idea.
You think we get these tags off before tomorrow, or
keep them on? Maybe they can return them.
What we should do is we should auction these off.
That's right. Sign them.
We'll do it tonight, and then they'll be gone for tomorrow.
I get it, though. I mean, it's not the most fashionable, piece of clothing, but we get the message. Green Week, we're supporting the environment.
As Gutierrez flies out, green jackets aren't bringing the Brewers much luck here. Get rid of these things.
One top 7 or Toyota game summary. No score until the 4th. Corey Hart with a one-hopper to right over the wall. Pritzfielder scored that, made it 1-0. Then Ryan brought in the fifth. A ground rule double to right. Randy Wolf, who had singled one of his 2 hits, scored. It was 2-0. Randy had a great game going, but it vanished on one pitch in the 6th. Danny Valencia, a 3-run shot to left. The Twins with the lead, 3-2. Guys.
All right, Mark, thank you. We head to the 7th inning. Very pleasant night here on a Friday night in Milwaukee. The series will wrap up Sunday. And then the Brewers headed to New York. Got a date with the New York Yankees. Anxious to see the Brewer bats at Yankee Stadium. Hoping to see the Brewer bats at some point in this game. They've had their chances. Feels like they should have 5 or 6 runs against Scott Baker in this game, but only 2 on the board, and Twins were able to capitalize with a 3-run homer. Brewers have left 6 runners on base already through the first 6 innings.
Hit 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight for the Brew Crew. Both of the hits run scoring doubles.
Baker has one of the 5 Minnesota hits, 1 out of 2. Matter of fact, the starting pitchers combining for 3 hits tonight of the 11 on the board. Baker, then back to the top of the order, Ben Revere and Alexi Casilla. A slow curveball. Baker able to hang in there. We've seen some home runs in this homestand from some unlikely sources. Nice swing and a miss. Baker gone on strikes. Randy Wolf picks up another one. That's his 5th. 16 down to 8. The 8 greatest moments in MLB All-Star Game history are going head-to-head to determine which is the most memorable of all time. Go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite Midsummer Classics. And tune into the 2011 MLB All-Star Game on Tuesday, July 12th, 7 Central on Fox to find out who won.
Hey, talking about those home runs on Wednesday, Elliott Johnson of the Tampa Bay Rays with a 3-run homer. Difference in the game on Wednesday.
Brewers dropped 2 out of 3 to the Rays. But Milwaukee still has not lost consecutive games at home this year. And that is a streak they are hoping to continue with a victory tonight. It is the longest streak. The Brewers are the last team in baseball not to have lost back-to-back games at home. There's a base hit. Revere just slaps one into left field. And the speedy center fielder is aboard for the 2nd time.
Well, the high fastball is exactly what a guy like Revere wants to see. Just to slap that, get on top of it. With the drawn in infield, Case McGee, even with the bag, not much range when you do that. And now you have excellent speed at first base. You figure if he can get a jump, he'd like to take off and steal a base.
Revere is 6 out of 9 in stolen base attempts this year. Alexi Casilla is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout tonight. Pivotal inning for Randy Wolf. He is at 99 pitches. Hawkins out there to help him finish this 7th, just in case. Randy Wolf's spot in the batting order is due to lead off in the bottom of the 7th. Well, you know, Renicky and Kranitz would love to get him through this inning. Got Joe Mauer due next. It's a much different lineup here with the Twins without Morneau. And Denard Span. Span's still out with a concussion. He's been out since the 6th of June. He is throwing and expecting to start taking batting practice soon. Runner goes. Wolf back to second. They get the out there. Throw to first. In time. Casilla got a slow break out of the box. And Randy Wolf starts a 1-6-3 double play to get out of the inning, leaving Mauer waiting on deck.
We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Randy Wolf's night's going to be done. Only giving up 3 runs in this one, but that big home run back in the 6th inning.
Well, he's pitched so well, he'd like to take that pitch back because he left it up in the zone, and Valencia crushed it. But Randy pitched very well. He's pitched deep in the ball game. Now we just need to score some runs.
Good pitchers duel, and two teams that, for whatever reason, like to play a lot of one-run games. They got him on the slate here, and Randy Wolf giving up a 3-run home run. That's been it so far. 3-2, though. The Brewers trail. Looking forward to Brewers Live postgame and the instructional. It's going to be crowded down there, Davey. All ready to have Bert join you guys?
Yeah, we got Bert Levin, the Hall of Famer, joining me and Rock. So don't know what it is yet, but it'll be interesting.
I think you do. You're just not telling. So we're looking forward to that coming up later, Brian.
Or it's possible that Davey has forgotten by now, but Craig remind him. And we'll look forward to the instructional as Craig Counsell leads off on the first pitch. He bounces out. Suddenly Scott Baker is locked and loaded here. Randy Wolf giving up the home run to Valencia. So take you back to the double play ball. Casilla looked like he, on his follow through, hit his ankle with a bat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, you got to have a better effort down the first baseline, because Ricky Weeks had pretty much given up on the double play. He was satisfied with the out at second, but once he saw that Casilla wasn't getting down the line very well, he decided to make the throw, and he was able to turn it.
And that was a 1-4-3 double play. Weeks was over to cover the bag with the runner on the move. And it ended up as a double play, leaving Joe Mauer standing in the on-deck circle. Now the pressure is on Milwaukee's offense as they bat for the 4th time against Scott Baker.
And Baker just continues to throw the baseball well. Randy Wolf as well. He made one mistake. It was that first pitch cut fastball to Valencia he hit out of the ballpark. Other than that, he was very good once again.
Weeks gets sawed off, and he'll shoot one to right, a base hit. So the tying run is aboard. And Nyjer Morgan coming up with one away.
And talking about strong hitters, and Rickie Weeks is one as well. That breaking ball got in on his hands, but watch the way he pulls the hands in and shoots it into the opposite field. And Baker got him down on the trademark, but Rickie's strong enough to muscle it out there into the outfield.
2 hits tonight for Weeks. He's been aboard all 4 times with 2 hits, a walk, and a fielder's choice. So again, the question is posed. Does Weeks run here? He's been up in this spot with Nyjer Morgan on 4 different occasions tonight. And Morgan drops down a beautiful bunt. Baker throws, low throw, safe at first. Nyjer Morgan bunts for a hit. 2 men are on with just 1 out, and Ryan Braun coming up. Beautiful bunt.
He loved the idea. Worst case scenario, you get Rickie into scoring position. But with Nyjer's speed, he puts the pressure on Baker. Well, Baker knows he has to be quick and makes a bad throw. Might have been safe anyway. Would have been close. Looks like he might have been out, but I believe Nyjer gets a base hit.
Well, Rick Anderson on his way to the mound, the Twins pitching coach. Baker sitting at 92 pitches here in the 7th inning. Roenicke and Kranitz working the phones here. And another look at Morgan's bunt, just deadened it perfectly.
That bunt for a base hit. And because Baker had to rush, he made a bad throw, and the result is first and second, nobody out.
That's the thing about Nyjer Morgan. Even on a night when he's struggling at the plate, he can still be a threat. Morgan not swinging the bat particularly well tonight. 0 for 3 coming in, and just a little off with his timing against Baker. Not able to bunt for a single, and now the Brewers are set up. Got their best 2 hitters coming up. Bullpen is active. It's going to be Baker to face Braun, however. Ryan doubled in a run in the 5th. The second Milwaukee run. Baker did get him on a ground ball double play in the 1st inning. And that's what the Twins are hoping for here in the 7th. Ryan extended his hitting streak to 15 games with that double in the 5th inning. Baker has walked 4 tonight, one of those intentional. With Lowe and Hawkins loosening in the Brewers bullpen. All depends on the outcome of this inning. On the corner, a strike, 1-1.
That's a nice pitch by Baker right on that outside edge. Braun looking for something to pull that he can find a gap. Can't ask for a better speed on the bases for the Brewers.
Remember Gardenhire's outfield positioning, playing deep out there, trying to cut him off the extra base hit. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. Braun would love him to just jog around. He shoots one foul at a good pitch to hit. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, they're giving Braun a lot of room in that left center field gap, which gives you some indication as to how they're going to pitch him. They'll try to get him out of the way, show him fastballs in for effect. Straight away and left and right. And they've got the center fielder Revere shaded around toward right center.
Still just 1 out. Ball and 2 strikes on Braun. And he gets jammed. A pop up, shallow right. That's going to be the second baseman, Casilla. Weeks is going to tag, and he'll make it to third base.
Wow.
Aggressive base running by Ricky Weeks. But he ends up at third. Now 2 men are out with Fielder coming up.
That's great base running by Ricky, realizing that the second baseman's going out there and not near enough arm to get him. Now the best pitch for Brawny were back-to-back fastballs. That pitch right there on the corner. Now this is the one that Braun would like to have back. That 1-1 fastball, and that one popped him up. If Kadire catches that baseball, there's no way Ricky can get to third base. That's great base running right there by Ricky.
And that's it for Scott Baker. So Gardenhire goes to the bullpen. Lefty on lefty coming up with Fielder. We'll set up the new hurler when we come back. Go ahead run at first, but 2 men are out. And Ron Gardenhire going to his bullpen. Jose Mijares, the left-hander, on to face the left-handed hitting Prince Fielder.
And Mijares has a very good slider, one of 3 left-handers in the Twins bullpen. Mijares was on the disabled list mid-May to the beginning of June.
Opponents, left-handed hitting opponents, batting .222 against Mijares. Brewers down a run, bottom of the 7th, and Fielder takes a ball. Prince Fielder at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Twice walked by Baker. He was pitched around in the 4th inning, scored the first run, then he was intentionally walked in the 5th. You know, the old adage of you don't want to put the go-ahead run into scoring position here, but I'm surprised Gardenhire is choosing this matchup to challenge Prince Fielder with the left-hander, with McGee's struggles on deck.
And that's why they have a right-hander loosening in the bullpen. Prince hitting almost 300 against lefties. He's been very good against southpaws this year.
And now he is in a hitter's count. The 2-0. Fielder takes ball 3.
Well, you know you're going to get the green light if you're Prince Fielder right here. I mean, those are good numbers against lefties for Prince. He loses a little bit of power against lefties, but that 300, 299 batting average, nothing to sneeze at.
Fielder has had the green light on 3-0 counts plenty of times this year. Actually has a home run on a 3-0 count this season. Takes it all the way, takes a strike right down the chute. Randy Wolf could still be the winner in this game if the Brewers can take the lead and hang on. Right now he's on the hook for the loss. Wow, close pitch, 3-2.
Yep.
Well, back to full. Nigel Morgan will take off with the pitch at first. He's the go-ahead run. 3-2. Fielder rips one. Base hit right field line. It'll go to the wall. Weeks scores. Here comes Morgan. And he will score. Prince Fielder delivers again. Milwaukee has the lead 4-3.
Now the man has been absolutely incredible all season long. Well, the only slider Mijares threw him until he got to the full count was the first pitch. Got behind 3-0. Then he threw him run right down the middle. Now here's the borderline fastball that was called. And then he made a mistake with a fastball in. It was supposed to be on the outside corner. Look at the extension from Prince. Able to keep it fair down the right field line, and the man has done it again with 2 outs.
What a season. We'll take a break, set up the new pitcher when we come back. In baseball this season than Prince Fielder, and he just delivers in a big way with a 2 RBI double, giving the Brewers the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Alex Burnett is on to pitch to Casey McGee. Still 2 men out. Fielder at second. 4-3 Milwaukee here in the home half of the 7th. Fielder with his 40th extra base hit leads the National League.
Now you make a mistake, inside on Prince, and you will pay dearly. The fastball is supposed to be on the outside corner. Mijares missed by the entire width of the plate, and he doubled down the line. You don't make mistakes to Prince.
Mijares gives up the 3-2 double to Fielder. It was big because Morgan was able to get a head start at first and was able to score easily. Now McGee trying to add to it. No balls, 2 strikes on Casey McGee. Fielder's got a big lead out at second, and he'll be off with a crack of the bat. Should be able to score on a base hit. Casey looking for his first home run since May 20th. It's been a while for McGee. Last time up, he flew out to center field with the bases loaded. Down the line, great play, Valencia. And a long throw is just in time. Valencia is having a nice ball game. But there is the clutch daddy, Prince Fielder. A 2 RBI double for 3 Brewers. Double gives the Brewers the lead as we head to the 8th inning now. And our Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Twins will do it again tomorrow. 5:30 is airtime. Giovanni Gallardo on the mound for Milwaukee against Francisco Liriano for the Twins. Sunday is a matinee. It is Narveson against Pavano. Off day Monday. The Brewers head to Yankee Stadium Tuesday. And the rotation is set for the Yankee series with Greinke, Markham, and then Randy Wolf. Randy Wolf is in line for the win, but the bullpen will have to take it the rest of the way. Cameron Lowe first out of the pen. He'll work the 8th, and he'll have Joe Mauer, Michael Kadire, and Delman Young.
Through a scoreless inning against the Rays on Tuesday night, a scoreless 8th inning. He's tied for second in all of baseball with 39 appearances so far this year.
Mauer is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a line out. Hit a slicing line drive to Braun in left field back in the 3rd inning. His best bolt of the night. Brewers would love to get through interleague with the Twins before Joe Mauer figures it out at the plate. He's still trying to get his timing together. After 2 months on the disabled list. It's interesting that Mauer did not go to the minor leagues. He didn't go down on a minor league rehab assignment. As Mark Ananasio comes up with a foul ball. I'm guessing he has a few of those.
Saved his wife down there. Well done, Mark.
Yeah. Give that to Debbie.
Yeah. The story was a lot better when we thought he caught it.
Yeah, see, now they're putting us in a bad position
right.
when I replay. It's a no-win situation for the commentators. Bouncing ball to Betancourt, and Mauer is retired. Some things are just better left unsaid, right, Rock?
I have nothing else to say about that.
How about this? Some analysis, please. Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Prince Fielder driving in a pair.
Yeah, he's something else. I mean, just when you need the big hit, he comes up to the plate. And as we mentioned, you couldn't ask for better speed on the bases with Niger at first, Ricky Weeks at third. something else. Prince Fielder.
He's going through some of the numbers for Prince Fielder. Only Alex Gonzalez and Ryan Howard with more go-ahead RBIs this year than Fielder. Those two are at 20. Fielder is third in the league, in the major leagues, with 17 go-ahead runs batted in. And now has 19 RBIs in the 7th inning or later.
And would have a lot more if they were willing to throw to him. Willing to pitch to him. I mean, it's not just the intentional walks. I mean, it's the walks that he gets that pitchers apparently don't really want to mess around too much. And that's what meant at first base. It's the intentional walks come when first base is open. It's a no-brainer.
And as tempted as Nyjer Morgan might have been to steal a base and move into scoring position as the go-ahead run, he stayed put. Gardenhire took a chance. Sent his big lefty out there to face Fielder, and Fielder now goes above 300 against left-handers with that double down the right field line.
Yeah, 10 of his 51 walks this year are intentional walks, including the one tonight, but there are a lot more of those walks that he has racked up that pitchers apparently don't want any part of them. 4-pitch walks, 5-pitch walks. I don't blame him.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Kadire. Kadire is hitless tonight. He's been walked twice. He was on when Valencia went deep in the 6th inning. John Axford getting ready.
Maybe we've seen this the last few games. Axford getting loose in the 8th.
Oh, Cameron Lowe makes Kadire look bad. Sweeping breaking ball. And 2 quick outs for Cameron Lowe in the 8th.
Right, sometimes with Lowe, the way that sinker moves, it's tough to tell between the slider and the fastball. That ball just drops off the table right on the outside corner, and Kadire just waves at it.
Kadire's 12-game hitting streak in jeopardy. So 2 gone. Here is Delman Young. And a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Lowe last pitched on Tuesday when a scoreless inning with a strikeout. Issued a 2-out walk against the Rays, but held him down in the 8th, setting up Axford's save. 0-2. Lowe was impressive in Boston in the lone win, protecting a Randy Wolf lead in that game at Fenway on Saturday. Retired the side in order. And he's got the side in order here in the 8th. Cameron Lowe, impressive. 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Milwaukee 4, Minnesota 3. inning. And fans' time is running out to make sure you see Ricky Weeks, Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, and all your Brewers favorites in this year's All-Star game. Visit brewers.com/all-star, and you'll not only vote for your favorite Brewers, but you'll be eligible to win great prizes, including a night in Ryan Braun's suite with a visit from Ryan himself. Vote early, vote often, most importantly, vote Brewers. Corey Hart will lead off for Milwaukee. Burnett still out there. Sitting on a Prince Fielder go-ahead 2 RBI double with 2 outs in the 7th, giving the Brewers the 1-run lead. And you hear about tack-on runs all the time and how important they are. The Brewers would love to tack a few on against Minnesota. After Cameron Lowe goes right through the order in the 8th inning, 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. Running out of superlatives for Prince Fielder, and we're only in June. That's how good he's been.
It never gets old, though, to be able to come to the ballpark every single day and watch he and Ryan Braun do their thing. You know, not too many cities get the opportunity to see 2 guys go off the way they have this year.
As Hart strikes out number 1 of the 8th. Braun and Fielder with RBIs tonight. Braun drove in a run with a double in the 5th inning. Then Perkins loosening. How many left-handers the Twins have in their bullpen right now? 3.
Yep. Phil DeMatre. You've already seen Mijares and Glenn Perkins.
Betancourt on the first pitch, out to Revere. 2 outs. I know the Twins were expecting Jim Thome to return tonight. They were hoping he'd return tonight. Then out with a back injury, a quad injury. Actually got an epidural injection in his back. That's a big bat that the Twins are without, but certainly hampers Gardenhire's lineup when they come into a National League ballpark. Much like the Rays having to use Johnny Damon in left field, not to have that big bat in their lineup. Certainly not going to play Thome in the field. He doesn't even own a glove, I don't think, anymore. Kotaris backhanded by Hughes. And here we go to the 9th inning. The Twins are coming up, and here comes John Axford. Save opportunity on the way at Miller Park. 4-3 Brewers. John Axford on the pitch for Milwaukee, their closer, and he is 19 out of 21 in save opportunities this year, but his last 22 off the charts. He has an earned run average under 1 and 14 saves in those last 22 games. Also a couple of wins, Rock.
Yeah, he's been very good. He's been able to get his fastball for strikes. His curveball's been a very good pitch for him, and he has converted in his last 16 save opportunities.
Jonathan Lucroy will come in to catch, coming out of the bullpen. He was just warming up. Axford in the bullpen, making the change. Axford will face Danny Valencia to start it, and it was Valencia who put the Twins on top with one swing of the bat. Their only run-producing hit of the night, a 3-run homer with 1 out in the 6th inning. Valencia's 8th homer of the year. Lazy pop-up out to Ricky Weeks. Out number 1. And looking at that stretch for Axford, and in his last 22 innings, you saw the 14 saves, but he has been striking out a ton of batters. 32 Ks in his last 22 innings.
Has been as good and as automatic lately as anybody in baseball. And it all comes down to Axford being able to throw his curveball for strikes.
And a fastball for a strike to get him ahead against Luke Hughes. Picked up a save against Boston. Axford finished off the game against the Rays as he deals strike 2. That was not a save situation, although it was a 5-1 Brewers win. Axford picked up the final 3 outs in order on Tuesday night. Hughes didn't chase. We saw Axford as high as 98 miles an hour in Boston. That's the other part of the equation. Not only has he been throwing strikes with his fastball, but he's been bringing the heavy heat. 2-2 to Hughes. Count goes full, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Bouncing ball over to McGee. And out number 2. Axford 1 out away from save number 20. And they come to their feet here at Miller Park. Nishioka, the switch hitter. Last hope for the Twins. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of strikeouts. A save tonight for Axford would bring him within 2 of the National League lead. There's strike 1.
And Nishioka has not looked very good on the breaking ball tonight. Not sure if Axford was going to mess around with that. 2 behind Houston Street is John Axford.
1-2.
He's going to throw the breaking ball. Now's the time to do it and spike it in the dirt.
And down he goes. Axford dropped the hammer on him. And the Brewers win tonight. Prince Fielder had the big hit. A 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI double in the 7th inning. Our Menards player of the game. The Brewers win 4-3. Randy Wolf the winner. John Axford picks up save number 20. What a ball game tonight at Miller Park. Much more still to come on this game. Craig Kashawn, what do you have coming up on Brewers Live?
Well, we're going to go over a perfectly written script for a Brewer victory, especially starting out this series here at Miller Park against the Twins. Well done interleague style. We'll hear from Ron Roenicke and the winning Brewers when we come back on Fox Sports Wisconsin.